So yeah, I don't know. You pack the plutonium around the mechanism, and then when it gets hot enough to react, it should be possible then. Well, I'm not sure. I've never tried it that way. Yeah. I've seen it done, but again, that was a long time ago. Look, if you're going to time travel, you're going to have to take some risk. Time travel is not easy. I told you this before. It's not my fault. We'll go back in time and tell me then. Oh, I got to start my live stream because we've already got people here. Well, one person. Look, we just now started live streaming again. What? Just use the plutonium. Get some of the Oak Ridge. They're giving it away. Okay, bye. Okay, so sorry about that. I had to get off the phone. These things happen. I try to help the kids with their science projects. It's a ministry at this point. And so sometimes they start thinking out of the box, like you're wanting to time travel at Christmas. And I don't blame you. I time traveled when I was a kid. You're asked to do a science fair project. You're like, hey, we're going to do a science fair project. And the teacher would say, we're going to do a science fair. And I was like, I'm in, and I'd be like, I'm going to invent a time machine. And I always did. You get your A and you go home. That's how it works, right? Time travel that is what Christmas is all about, people, is time travel. I'm telling you. How are you? Good to see you. One person in the chat, or one person here. I don't even know who that is yet. I'm looking now and they're not left a comment yet, but I'm here and that's what matters. And we do have some people checking this out on the replay. Look, I just now started live streaming again after years of not live streaming or just occasional live streams, but I'm back with my Halo headphones because I still don't do the live stream right. So, because streamers don't do this. Look how crazy. I'm using StreamYard. I know there's a better way to probably have a background thing and not have the Halo on. I guess it's don't wear headphones, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out now. Make sure I'm reaching you guys. I know that one of our members, when it comes, I didn't set this live stream up. So if you didn't get a notification tonight, it makes sense. Whereas last night, I don't know why people weren't notified. I'm not sure why the comments on the replay that they're not working. I'm not sure why. But hey, I'm here anyway. If you want to accomplish anything in life, you got to go for it. Tonight, we're gonna start a topic tonight because this needs to happen. This topic needs to happen, people. Oh my goodness, it's Big Frog. I'm sorry. That's not actually the topic, but I have to. Big Frog is one of our OG live streams from Vlogmases long ago. And it's always good to see Mr. Big Frog and cooking. And no, it's Mr. Big Frog barbecue and cooking. I'm so sorry. Hello. It says, you need the cat earphones. What are the cat earphones? I don't even know what those are. You're going to have to send a link or post a link. Then again, if you do, I have no idea how to, because the way it used to work is you couldn't post a link. You had to allow somebody to post a link. And I don't even know how to do that with StreamYard. I know that I'm learning something new all the time. You would think that I would have a normal camera right now for live streaming after doing this. Technically, though, I've not been live streaming for 9 years, but I have been YouTubing for 9 years. There's no excuse for this at this point. That's what I would tell my kids. But we've got to talk about the physics of Santa Claus. Now, I didn't want to name the video that tonight. I'm going to name the video that tomorrow night because we are definitely having a live stream tomorrow night at 9 p.m. And tomorrow night's a big night because we are going to really delve into the physics of Santa Claus and talk about, this is something we need to talk about. We need to get this out of the way because I think we're hurting kids in STEM, science, technology. What is it? Energy and math or something? Science, technology, exponents and math. I don't know, but something like that. It's where all the money is. Randy Boston is in the house. Let's go. Shane, I love it because you're enthusiastic about a live stream and there's 3 people in here counting me. And that, you know what? I love that because I'm going to go hard to the paint, just like just like there were 5,000 people in here, because that, my friend, is how you go places in life. Because one day when I grow up, I'm going to be a successful YouTube streamer who's got nutcrackers in the back on the green screen for a reason, for a purpose. And people are going to be like, oh, what is that nutcracker for? And I'm going to be like, let me tell you why. Let me explain this to you. But tonight, we've talked about nutcrackers for 2 nights. We will come back to that during this Vlogmas season, during this very festive Vlogmas season. But for tonight, we're talking about the physics of Santa Claus and why we've got to help our children understand how he's making this possible. Because magic just isn't cutting it, people. With all the cutbacks in Washington, there's just not a lot of room any longer for magic. So we have to come up with different ways. We have to science this thing. Because for Santa to pull it off, the way I understand it, is for Santa to be able to hit I think there's 700,000 children in the world of age that would receive gifts from Santa. 700,000 kids. So to be able to pull that off in one night, I think you have to go so many thousand times the speed of sound, which would cause a sonic boom, like many of them, like constant sonic booms. And of course, the reindeer would turn into plasma. I'm just saying. And of course, with Rudolph, you're going to have some issues there. I'm not sure how that works, but with Rudolph, it makes a little more sense that maybe your space and time, you're unfolding space and time. I mean, we're talking about the 5th dimension here. It's possible with the 5th dimension, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. Or is it the 6th? I know the 5th dimension would be the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Come on, give me a like if you love that. Come on. Remember that song? This is the dawn of the 5th dimension, people. Hello. Come on. But how does Santa pull that off? And where did they come up with Santa? I'm not the where, because we're all going to Google it and you're going to get 15 different sources about Santa and stuff like that. But like the ridiculous nature, I get it. You come down the chimney. I get that part. You come down the chimney. Okay. Because why would he use the front door? You know? So you're going to come down the chimney, which that means like on a cold night of the year when winter is upon us, you know? I think the shortest day of the year, the kickoff of winter, isn't it December 21st? Because I used to do a video every shortest day of the year. I would do a video. This is the shortest day of the year. It was shtick, and nobody really bought it. Nobody liked it. And I would always forget to do the longest day of the year 6 months later, but I did it like a few years in a row. This is the shortest day of the year. It was like, haha, I might do it this year for fun, for giggles. But I would do this little shtick about the shortest day of the year and post it. But by the time people watched it, it wasn't the shortest day of the year anymore, so it wasn't funny. And so the algorithm never would pick it up. Anyway, silly. But regardless, it's winter time when Santa's supposed to come down the chimney. That means, are you not supposed to build a fire that night? So you've got to invent more magic. I'm just saying, if you think about inflation, magic inflation, like if you're thinking about expenditure of magic like it's money, you're already running a tab here, because you're thinking, I got to have magic, to get down the chimney. I got to have magic for my sleigh. I've got to have magic to get around the world, in one night. And so you're touching your nose to get back up the chimney. Isn't that how that works? There's more magic right there. And I don't know. It's just, it seems like we have an inflation problem anyway. It's just something that we need to talk about, is the physics of Santa Claus. There may be a more efficient way to do this. We need to talk about that. Shane says, hey, that's wormholes. Well, sure. But I mean, who's paying for that wormhole? That's what I want to know. Who's paying for it? This is going to be a political channel from now on. We're going to talk about the finance of holidays. Rudolph's nose opens portals from house to house. Well, that goes with wormholes. You and Shane have been talking. So Big Frog and Boston are hanging out. They're talking. They're being proactive about this problem, people. That's what we need more of in this country. That's why they're running for office, and I'd vote for them. Big Frog says, I love your shortest day of the year. Okay, that's it. I've got to make them now. Nobody has ever said that. It's like, I don't think anybody ever commented on those videos, Big Frog, and said, I love your shortest day of the year videos. Nobody ever has, but now that they have, I am definitely going to make one this year. I might go ahead and cut it just for and like plan it out to come out at midnight on the shortest day of the year, which is right. It's December 21st, right? Or something like that. I'm not sure. So either way, That's going to happen now. How does this microphone sound? I know that it's crazy, but since it's just the four of us, it's funny because there's always a little bit of delay on when people are in here and when they're not. But there's just the four of us. So how is the mic sounding? Is it sounding okay? I've always wondered about this. This mic was like $25 at the foot of the mountain here. It's one of those, like, I don't want to call it a secondhand store, even though it closed. And it was one of those stores where you're like, I hope this stuff isn't stolen. But they used to have one of those in Harrisonburg, and it was called the Foundry or something. I can't remember. But like you had these big bins of different stuff. Like, but they had this whole section that was like for YouTubers. It was weird. It was like, where did you get all the stuff for? But it was cheap stuff, and this is one of them. I think new. This thing was like $50 or something. It works okay on voiceovers, I guess, but people are still griping about the audio, the voiceover in some of our videos. And here's what I say to that. We are always working to improve our audio. Santa draws his magic from the children. Oh, I don't know. These days though, I'm not sure if you know what I'm saying. I don't want to say it, but it's just, just in the news, there's a lot of stuff. It's like, you wonder, is this thing going to get demonetized? Like, you're not even, like you're not even trying. You're just talking about Santa. And it's like, somebody's like, Epstein didn't kill himself. You're going, wait. We're not talking about that. Big Frog, barbecue and cooking. I can hear you and I don't near much. So it must work. I think I know what you're saying there. Adrenochrome. What is adrenochrome? What is adrenochrome? Now I'm curious. What is adrenochrome? It sounds like a great energy drink. If it's not, it should be. Please tell me it's an energy drink. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is sponsored by adrenochrome. No, it's not. I'm kidding. You know how annoying it is on every video. You're supposed to do this, and I nobody's. I'm sure that there are videos where I have forgotten to do this, where I mentioned a brand or something, and I didn't say, hey, and I'm not sponsored, but you're supposed to. You're supposed to put it on the screen and say it. And it's so silly. It's like, if I were sponsored, I'd be making that cash and I would talk about it. I have never followed through with sponsorship, and I need to. That's free money. Conspiracy theory substance. Adrenochrome. Okay. Conspiracy theory. So, all right. Then that's what this channel needs. And speaking of if I were a part of the MK Ultra, I would use Christmas imagery. I'm just saying, if that were part of the team, the think tank for MK Ultra 2025, because it's still around, it is. I'm probably using Christmas imagery to brainwash people. I'm just saying. I think you could get by with it. You get somebody sleepy, sleep deprivation for 7 days. I went in the Army one time. I went 4 nights. We were doing urban assault training, and I cannot remember the name of those lanes, but it was at Fort Knox. Awesome training, best training ever. It was right after September 11th. We were getting mobbed, and we had to go through these, I think called Sasso lanes, if I'm not mistaken. It was a fantastic training opportunity. But I was awake for like 4 nights. That 4th night, I was ludicrous in my head, man. I was crazy. Big Frog and I keep messing that up. Big Frog barbecue and cooking. I just got an ad mid-live stream. Never had that happen before. Show me the money. We need to get into that sometime during Vlogmas about how weird the live stream payment structure is. It's crazy. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's for some other time. YouTube doesn't really like it when you talk about, I don't know why. That's what I was told one time. DJI is it DJI? He's DJW. I can't remember his handle. He's got his own channel now, and he's in the Philippines or something. But he used to moderate for us, and he did a great job. And like, there was one time I was talking about the pay scale on YouTube, and he was like texting me going, don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. And I didn't know it, but his channel is doing great. And I need to post a link on that while we're doing, Vlogmas, just as a compliment to him, because for years he helped us on our live stream, keep people, people would come in and say crazy stuff and he'd boot them. And so between him and Carolyn, so he was where he's from in West Tennessee at the time. He's not there now, but he was living in West Tennessee. We were in Virginia. And so like Carolyn would be there in the house with me, and DJ would be in Memphis, or I think it was from Memphis. And between the two of them, we could keep our comments like docile, By the way, if you're just joining us, welcome to our live stream. And we're not really calling it Vlogmas, but it is. And the reason why is Vlogmas just doesn't track well with the algorithm. I don't know why I care, because, look, basically the people that come into a live stream, they're friends. They watch the video. They watch our videos a lot. They hang out for a minute. They come and go. And that, I'm not sure that that's that big of a deal. However, we noticed over the years that Vlogmas just didn't track well as a part of the title. So I'm trying not to do that. But we're having issues anyway with, Shane was telling me about, and Shane and Mom. Mom always stops by and watches the live stream for a little while. And she was like, I didn't get a notification. And so that was funny. So that's something that I think I can fix tonight if I do it, or if I basically schedule it earlier. I guess I'm not sure. I know that it always helps if you comment, hit the like button, do the hokey pokey, give blood, DNA, whatever, and it usually works. Manow 2416 says, I love the Nutcracker. Eyeball head in the back. Yes, because it's emblematic, if you will, of Big Brother. It's emblematic of Big Brother watching us all at Christmas. Yeah, it's a soldier. It's a Prussian soldier, a German soldier. To be fair, Prussian, not exactly German, but Prussian, because Germany wasn't a nation yet. But not when the original story came out in 1816, right? But so Shane's saying, Shane's laughing. Yeah, because, and I'm going to go with a different lighting arrangement every time. I actually don't even think that's the picture I took tonight, because I was going to try to go, my hand just disappeared into the green screen. I was trying to take a different picture, but I don't think that's not the picture I wanted for tonight, but I'm not going to go messing around with it. Besides, I'll probably break something. And those of you that have been with us for a while, Big Frog, there was somebody else in here earlier that's been with us for a while watching our older live streams. You remember how crazy it can get when I start pushing buttons, and like the screen goes blank, and it's like the live stream is over. Then I come back in, 5 minutes later. That's happened to us several times. I love being the one thing I love about being back in Chattanooga is this: we have the best internet speed in the nation, bar none. And it's a crazy investment that EPB, our power company, made years ago. It was like $1 billion investment here in Chattanooga, and everybody got really mad when Iron Man 3 came out, because there's this scene in Iron Man 3 where he's supposed to be in Chattanooga and the internet doesn't work well, and everybody locally got mad. They're like, you should have done your research. You should have done your homework. Chattanooga's got the best internet in the world. Or at the time, it was like the best internet in the world. I think somebody, maybe South Korea or somebody's got faster internet than we do, but the upload speeds are crazy. It's so it's a lot better than Virginia as far as whatever you call that stuff, that internet stuff, latency or something. I don't know. Yeah, the Nutcracker is in the background. There's a story that I can't tell about this particular Nutcracker and a few of the other ones that I just don't need to tell in a live stream, but they weren't really accepted or loved where they belonged. They needed a home. And so we're doing an adopt a soldier program here. And, it's a Prussian soldier, but it's never too late to get treated for PTSD. This soldier right here, right behind me, this cowboy, it needed help. And where else can you turn except Bill's house, who understands what you've been through, oh, Prussian Nutcracker. And so we're thankful. Big Frog says, Chattanooga has the 4th fastest in the world. Yeah, that's what I heard too the last time I heard. Now, of course, I'm sure we're going to fall, down. What I really want, guys, is I want the, what's it called? The Elon Musk Starlink. I should have done it years ago when we were running around West Virginia. And the only problem with that is we kind of liked running around West Virginia with not having cell phone service, because we were having a blast and it keeps people from bugging you. But it's great if you're in the middle of nowhere, you need that cell phone signal and you've got Starlink. That's great. But yeah, Chattanooga has can somebody look up and see, where does Chattanooga rank in the US? Where does it rank in the US? That's the question. Because it used to be number 1. Shane says, we are supposed to get some ocean internet trunk lines in Flagler soon, connected to transatlantic fiber optics. What in the world? I'm going to assume that that's Trick 11, because I don't want to say it wrong, but that person says, "Hi, Bill." So I say, "Hi, Trick 11. Good to see you. Welcome all. Good to see you guys." I'm so glad that anybody is in here, because right now the record for a live stream during this Vlogmas is 6 people, and to me, I have these sound effects that are really cool, by the way, that come with this. I didn't even know it had it until the other night. But yeah, I have applause on here or something, and if I could just get to it faster, so like in that moment, I could like do the applause when I said our record is having 6 people in here. Not overall. I think there were, other than the comet when I mentioned last night, where I was trying to cover the blue blood comet back in 2019, and we had like 3,000 people in the chat because I had done everything right with the algorithm. We had jumped on there early to cover it, and it was a dumpster fire. I actually had a fake press conference later. You need to check that out if you get time, or maybe I repost it or whatever. But yeah, so here's some applause. Okay, that's enough. But so yeah, it's too hard to get to. I need like little buttons down here. They make this really cool stuff for live streaming, and like a camera that you can live stream with instead of using my camera here on my computer. But I've never, every year I go, I'm going to get it, I promise. And I've quit saying that because it never happens. And by the time I was going to buy a 4K camera, cell phones started, like, we had my son who was just, he was so thrilled that I had a YouTube channel. He thought it was great. And he bought me a camera. The sad part is the camera was 1080p. And so the cell phones they were recording better than the 1080p camera that he got me. So he's like, "Sorry, Dad, you're gonna have to use your cell phone or whatever." You need to call Billy from Strong's Adventures to get. I am shocked that he is not. Todd! Sorry, I just realized who that was. Good to see you, Todd. Todd's in the house. Says, need to call Billy. Here's the thing. I'm surprised he's not on here yet. I would love to get because normally he doesn't miss a video. Like he's one of them faithful. You're right though. I probably do, because he lives down in Louisiana, and because I am kind of worried because I haven't seen him around in a while. He was the one, he called me out, I don't know, 6 months ago, because I kept planning these premieres. And inevitably what will happen is, like, I'll plan a premiere and I'll upload the premiere, like, I'm going to be there Tuesday night, come and chat it up. And after a while, people get tired of coming to the premiere if I don't show up. I mean, that's the whole point of having a premiere, is you hope the content creator is like there and you can interact or whatever, or just bust him out on his music, which is what happens most of the time. But still, that's fun too. Like, guys, trust me, I can take criticism and I can dish it right back out too. So I have fun with that. Some of you guys that know I'm kind of sarcastic, but funny and warm and sweet, that I'll mess with people when they're messing with me about my music, but it's in love. Like, I'm not being ugly or anything. But Billy was like, I'm not coming to any more of these if you're not going to show up. And it was great. It was like, "Oh, no, I'm sorry." But inevitably what would happen is I'll schedule it. Something will happen, either not at the church, but something like church related or whatever, to where I'm not able to come back and do the whole premiere. And there are those times where you forget you have a premiere. Yeah. Like, you're just sitting there and you're like, you look at the clock, or it's worse. I'll be watching something on YouTube and like, I'll be, oh, and the bell, I have like 6 notifications, and I'll click the bell, and like way down at the bottom, like an hour before, it'll say something like, "Bill Marion started a live stream." Like, oops. Or not a live stream, but a premiere. Billy shared a video a couple of days ago from another creator, but he hasn't posted his own videos for a while. No, he's not posted his own videos for a while. No. From what I remember, I think she went back to work, and I can't remember how because they kind of had a life change, but that's been a few years ago. I'm not sure. I tell you what, it's funny because the crew that we had for several years, that Juan was a part of that, and just a few others, Big Frog, of course, and Strong's, and I could just keep naming people. like you don't. It doesn't happen that often to where you meet people like on a chat where suddenly everybody's got everybody's number. People are like, hey, they're Facebook friends or whatever. But that crew, about 30 of us all, if you added everybody up, Bryn G is another one, Toby the Adventurer, just different people that, and I'd say out of about 35, I knew about 7 or 8 total. But by and large, like we met here and just we talked all the time, and you start having legitimate friendships where you're like, yeah, let's meet at so and so, and it's kind of fun. But I called Billy one night. It was back in 2019 again, and or 2020 is one or the other. I think it might have been 2020, and I was like, okay, I've got this ham. I need some help because they can cook. They can flat out cook. And this is where we talk about the Dutch oven. It's got to happen. It became a running joke because it seemed like every time I was live streaming, I brought up the Dutch oven. And so it's a long story, lots of inside jokes, but that was fun too. That they started roasting me over this Dutch oven concept. So I actually made like 2 or 3 Dutch oven videos because of it. I think we were going to give a Dutch oven away or something. I can't remember. It's just silly. But we have fun here. That's all I'm trying to say. We have a lot of fun. It's a whole lot of fun. Todd, are you still in the house? I didn't know. I hope you're doing well, by the way. I haven't talked to you in a coon's age, as they say. It's good to see you. And I heard you guys were trying to get a hold of me and from up there in Virginia way and up in the Commonwealth, as they say in Virginia. Don't call Virginia a state. I made that mistake on my top 10 facts video about the state of Virginia. Funny story. Virginia is not a state, according to them. It's a commonwealth. And they get really, really offended if you don't call it a commonwealth. Now, what's the difference, somebody tell me, between a commonwealth and a state? Todd, you go first, and you're not allowed to Google it. Nobody's allowed to Google it. I'm watching. Actually, the soldier is watching. He's keeping guard of Google. What is the difference between a commonwealth? You have 5 seconds. You got to put that in there. Come on, gal people. Somebody's Googling right now. Somebody's Googling. I can feel the cheating. The cheating is happening as we speak. There is 5, 4, because this is a one-word answer. This is a one-word answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, nothing. That is the answer. There is no difference between a state and a commonwealth. All 50 states, even if they're called a commonwealth, are still states. Thus, we call them the 50 states and not like the 46 states. And I think it's 4 commonwealths. I'm just saying, I'm not picking on any Virginian who commented on that video, blasting me out of oblivion, going, so much he knows. It's a commonwealth. It's not a state. It's got to be a state or it wouldn't have a star on the flag, people. No, it's actually it's like, wow. It's got to be a state. It can be a commonwealth. It's an honorary title, but it doesn't have any actual, it has a historic meaning, where it's like, we're for the people. We're for the people. So yeah, Kentucky's a commonwealth. West Virginia's a commonwealth. Virginia's a commonwealth. There's another commonwealth that I am forgetting right now. West Virginia, Virginia, and Kentucky, right, guys? I think that's the only ones. Okay, you can Google this. You can Google this one. But I'm not. I can't remember. There's like 4 commonwealths, if I'm not mistaken. And so yeah, I called Virginia a state. Now, if I could go back and do it, it's Pennsylvania. Okay. If I could go back and do it again, if I could go back in time, if I could turn, that's how we started this conversation, is about time travel. We're going to get back to that in just a minute. But if I could turn back the hand of time, I would try to do a better job. I really would, on calling it a commonwealth, because you don't want to hurt people's feelings. And not everybody knows that a state and a commonwealth are the same thing. Doesn't have something to do with the structure of government. No. I mean, no. Nope. Nope. I mean, because it's like I'm trying to avoid the pitfall of going, well, kind of, but because it doesn't, like, by definition, I guess that's how I would say it. It's like you can't be there's there can't be a difference between a state and there can't be, because they're all states, right? You following me on this? I think I've made everybody mad. Like 4 people have left, and they were all from Virginia, and they're like, we hate him now. We are unsubscribing. You guys want to hear something depressing though? I'm going to tell you something so depressing right now. Is that, well, it's not depressing for you. I'm saying for somebody that makes videos on YouTube, it's depressing. So you get like all these subscribers, like as you're making videos or whatever. And so YouTube will continue, and they do this on purpose. They do this on purpose, but that you're like, I'm up 150 subscribers this month, or 400. If you have a big video, you get more and then less. But like, it'll say people that have unsubscribed, Commonwealth is an ancient England. We'll come back to that. Now 2416. We will come back to that. So yeah, they will inevitably. This is how this works. It's hilarious. I think everybody is Googling Commonwealth right now. I'm convinced of it. But anyway, you'll lose subscribers. Like this month, I'm down 142, and it's because YouTube will go in and clear out people that they think are bots. Like, not that you have created bots or whatever. I don't even know how to do that. I can barely sign on to YouTube sometimes, okay? But, apparently, you got people that do that. Used to, you would get these emails all the time. They'd be like, you can buy 5,000 subscribers for... It never works, because YouTube obviously can go through there and pick up, like, what's a legitimate... Big Frog's like, I am a bot. No, you're not, Big Frog. No, you're not. Know too much about you now, brother. Know too much about... No. But yeah, so I was like, that's so sad that it's not a real person. It's so that this month it was like, it's like flashing red. It doesn't flash, but it was like red. It's like minus 148. And I'm like, I've lost 148 subscribers. I mean, at this point, I don't really think you don't care about subscribers. It doesn't help anything really. I guess bragging rights or something. I don't know. But you look at it and you're like, where did they all go? And before I knew about the whole bot thing, because you get a lot of people, what it is a lot of bots will subscribe to channels and monitor the channel. Then they'll post like links, or here lately, I've noticed it's been like book titles. Like, you need to read this book. It's self-healing and all this kind of stuff for people. It's like a spam kind of thing. So YouTube goes in there and cleans them out, but occasionally they do clean out actual subscribers. But they rely on the algorithm anyway to feed people videos or something. That's what we're told. The Nutcracker thinks otherwise. That's why he's behind me. He's watching the algorithm right now. He sees stuff that I can't see. He sees the numbers go across the screen, ones and zeros and stuff. So let's go back to Now 2416. Commonwealth is an ancient English term. Well, here's the thing. It is. And it's a nice term. But it has no meaning, no official meaning. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make it different than a state. It's still a state. I'm a purist. It's got to be a state. No, I get it. I should have said Commonwealth. I get it. I should have said Commonwealth. We just moved to Virginia. So I was trying to like learn my new state at the time. And I'm glad that we did. A lot of the places and a lot of things in that video, there's a couple things that changed right when we got up there. I think the King's Dominion law. If you go back and watch that video, there's a part of that where I talk about the King's Dominion law and how they delayed the starting of school so that the holiday weekend there, whatever holiday weekend is I always get Labor Day and Memorial Day confused, but the one there at the end of the summer, and they actually used to the King's Dominion law was something like it extended the vacation break so that you could get that last weekend at King's Dominion or something. I can't remember the fact. Well, it turns out like either the year we moved there, but it was after I made that video, they changed that law. So I had a bunch of comments saying they've already overturned this fact is not true and all this kind of stuff. Santa is a bot, by the way. I love that. Nutcracker is a bot. Just now caught what's going on in the comments. You know what? That's fine. I'm a bot. I'm AI. I am totally AI. You guys are all hit the like button for AI. Whoop whoop. Labor Day is in the house. Labor Day is in okay, confession time. I am not a Memorial Day fan. If we're going to talk holidays and holiday magic, because that's what we started out, the inflationary problem with holiday magic, that if too much magic is used on a holiday and Santa is way using too much magic, that's why we have an inflation problem. But Memorial Day and Labor Day have got to be, and I know Memorial Day, you're like, but Bill, you were a soldier. You have a soldier behind you who supports you, that's got your back. I understand. And yet, I'm not. It's a Monday off. And so to me, it's like you should take Veterans Day, Memorial Day, and just call it Soldier Day or Armed Forces Day or something. I don't know. Is that wrong? Talk amongst yourselves. Come on. Holidays should be special. Yes, they should. Holidays should be special. That is definitely a bot. That comment is real bottish. That might be a bot. AI Bill. Yes. Everything. Man, here lately, I'm thinking everything is AI. I am blown away by AI. I'm not saying AI could do this yet, but I'm convinced AI could do, and I'm talking about this in one of our members video. And I don't know why all of you 6 in here right now, I'm not sure if I count as one of those 6 or not. So we're going to say 6 because it makes me feel better about myself. You all should be members. And all of you, I'm looking at you. You know who I'm talking to. All of you. Because, I've made 4 member videos this past year. I'm so embarrassed about my membership program. It's hard to make membership videos. Toby, the adventurer, I think that's what he changes his screen handle to, is Toby the adventurer. He was like the first member I had, like he believed. And he was the only member that we had for like 3 years or something. And thankfully, Shane and a few other people, they've joined. And like I have like 5 now or something. 4 or 5. So like I'm committed right now to making a video. I feel so bad. It's just hard to make videos for 5 people. It's like I want to go get 20 people or 30 just so I can make. And you can do member only live streams. Think about this. This would be so fun when you're premiering a video, which it all goes back to me showing up for the premiere, right? I get it. I hear what you're saying there. I feel what you're throwing down. Holidays should be special. Combine the days and take the week up. See, why can't Shane? That's what people should be doing. Like, why do we have all these days spread out? What are we acting like we're a union or something? No, we're the United States of America. You put all those days in a blender and you get an extra week off. You get like, I don't know, mandatory 2 weeks vacation in the summer for the whole nation. The whole nation, unless you're, this is going to be funny, unless you are a essential worker. Sorry, I said it. If you're an essential worker, you don't get to take 2 weeks off. Sorry, but everybody else gets to take 2 weeks off with pay. You get a check, you get a stimulus check, and and then you get 2 weeks off. It's like school. You never leave school. Life has gotten so busy for me that I can barely watch the 7 channels I subscribe to. I hear you. I don't watch TV anymore. I watch football. I'm so proud of James Madison University. We're a pastor in Virginia. James Madison was, when I say literally across the street, I mean literally. I don't mean literally like people use literally. I mean like the word literally. You could walk across the street and there you are. Wonderful campus, about the size of UT for those of you here in the South, about the size of UT's campus. Great kids. We started college ministry. It was very successful. Very proud of those kids. Very proud to have been a part of that culture there. Loved our time in Harrisonburg. Probably some of the best time of Monte Carlo's life. I mean, we absolutely loved it. And for them, what do you say? Physically, not okay. Physically, right across the street from the church. So the church, you walk across the street, there it is. And from our house, you could see the lights there at James Madison with the stadium. So that they made the college football playoffs is awesome. I got to admit, my Michigan Wolverines didn't make it. And my other team, the Tennessee Vols, they didn't make it. and they didn't deserve to make it. They're terrible. I mean, they're okay, but they didn't deserve to make the playoffs. But James Madison and Indiana University, who has been terrible forever. Indiana, this is how bad Indiana is in the Big Ten for you SEC folks. Indiana is so bad historically that, like, when Michigan would go to play Indiana, that's when I knew I didn't, don't watch that game. Michigan's got it. It's fine. And after the reshuffling a few years ago, or last year before last, whatever it was, Michigan didn't have to play Indiana, and I was glad because they kept getting better and better. They got a new coach a couple of years ago, and this guy is for real, and Indiana is for real. I don't know how far they're going to go in the playoffs. I have no idea, don't care. But the fact that they made it and they beat Ohio State, wow, those Cornhuskers are crazy. So they are going to I just got an email here. Sorry, it's actually to the staff there. But yeah, so that's kind of crazy. And that James Madison University is playing Oregon. I'm kind of pumped about that. I'd love to see James Madison University, like, I don't know. I don't know that they can go that far in the playoffs because I don't know, just not ready for that kind of commitment. They've been good for a long time, but they're hitting the big boys now. So who knows? We'll see. And I don't know if you guys are football fans or not. I don't know. We don't do sports on the channel. I don't think I could do sports adequately. I played football, but I don't know that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like Carol and I enjoy doing the nature thing and out in the mountains and blah, blah, blah. And I love dropping some fact word. I'm sorry. I thought I was a gangster for a minute, dropping fact bombs. Yeah, sorry. It's the gray beard that just gives it away that I'm not going to be dropping bombs. But I've never wanted to go the sports route. And the reason why is I do get bored with it quickly. So like to do like 365 days a year to jump on here and like you have all the, you know what I'm saying? Like, all the sound effects like they used to do. Bark, bark, like, is Dallas going to make the playoffs? Blah, 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 blah. I just couldn't do it. Fact bombs, dropping fact bombs. You know what? I was singing Vanilla Ice earlier, but right before I jumped on here, and I really was, because I was saying dropping facts like a Van Duel. Remember that, or something, whatever. Nobody thought Boise State could beat Oklahoma in that bowl game nearly 20 years. I remember that, but they did. Maybe JMU can beat Oregon. Here's the thing. If Oregon is Oregon, probably not. That's my prediction. Probably not. However, if Oregon is Oregon, they got a chance. You probably understand what I mean by that. Like, Oregon doesn't show up sometimes. Like, sometimes it's like, I can't explain it. I think it's because the West Coast is in their head. I don't know. There's just Oregon just kind of drops the ball sometimes. No pun intended. Shane says Vanilla Ice lives about 5 miles from. No way. Shane lives in. Y'all don't know Shane. Shane and I grew up together. He's like, I think we've been hanging out since we were like 12. And his house, he lives like 15 minutes from the beach. No joke. 15 minutes. If I lived 15 minutes from the beach, Shane, nothing really. I would just enjoy living 15 minutes from the beach. I was gonna say I'd be a surfer. Nah, probably not. But I would daydream about it a lot. I know that one time I came down to visit you, and you had like the crab and stuff, and all the deep sea stuff. Man, I was like, oh man, that's so cool. Said between here and really, I would have to like drop in on Vanilla Ice and go, all right, dude, stop. Let's collaborate. No, listen. Sorry. Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to say that. Vanilla Ice, when he came out, I hated that era of music, first of all. I never wanted to tell people that. I never wanted to tell my peers that because, Milli Vanilli, New Kids on the Block. Bobby Brown was a little earlier than that, but Bobby Brown, New Edition, there was some good country then, maybe. There was some good country, but country was starting to become more top 40-ish, but I hated that era of music all the way. The only, I guess, bright light for me in music during the 80s and 90s, not 80s, but let's say till, I don't know, 95 was Blues Travelers, David Matthews Band, I could list a couple of other ones, but they stuck out from the grunge movement slash rap kind of scene. There was looking back, there was some music that I like. It just wasn't me. I don't know. I think music just kind of lost out for a while and just didn't feel like music. Now listen, I am 51 years old. I'm an old man. I'm 51 years old, so I know I'm not cool. I haven't been cool in a long time. I don't even know if I ever was cool. Let's just be real here. I don't know. Probably not. But let's just say for a minute I had taste. Just for a minute. I don't now. So even if I did then, I don't now. But I know that I don't like music that's coming out today. I don't. Anybody else want to jump in on that one? I mean, my goodness, it's just one of the reasons why I'm infatuated with AI is because you can at least tell it what you want it to sound like. Kinda. Big Frog says, I never have been cool either. Yeah, what can you do? Here's the thing. Maybe we were so cool that we shot past cool. It's possible. I've thought about it. I thought maybe I was so cool that just couldn't get it dialed in. You know what I mean? Like you're so cool that they don't even get you. You're just, probably the case. Thought about that a lot. Like, man, I don't even think they get me because I'm so cool. Especially when I started losing hair at like 18, 17. That was so cool. The most miserable time, you start talking about high school and then people start dropping out like left and right. One of the things I hate about live streaming is like you're looking at the little like how many people are in the room and stuff, and you're going, that's depressing, that's depressing, that's encouraging, that's depressing, that's depressing, that's encouraging. No, but it's Shane's like, ha, the coolest. I'm telling you, cat daddy. No, I gave up a long time ago trying to be cool. When you start losing your hair at 17, 18 years old, you get over it quickly. It's devastating. Don't let a bald guy tell you that it wasn't miserable going bald. He's shaving his head and he feels confident now, and because he's used to it. But when he was losing his head, or she was losing her hair, whatever, it was miserable. It took me a long time to deal with the bald head, but now I can't imagine having hair now. I can't. I've been bald since I was 20. Been shaving my head about that long. So I can't imagine. Carolyn's like, I was like, Carolyn, I was being silly, of course. I was like, I'm going to get hair transplant, hair plugs, whatever they call them. I'm like, what do you think? And she's like, ew, gross. I would hate it. So I could never deal with that, because she's like, I love your bald head. And I'm like, lie to me, baby, lie to me, whatever works. So I don't, you get over it. Again, at 51, who cares? But so hair garden, was that me now 2416 hair garden? Yeah, Chia Pet. That's what we used to call it, Chia Pet. Dad got those the plugs back 20 something years ago, and Shane, I don't know if you were around for that yet, Shane. I don't know if you'd come up there, but he did. He had a mop on his head for a minute, and I don't know how much he paid. It was a lot. And he didn't spend his life being bald like me. He had hair. It's not like he wasn't even really losing. It was just getting thin. And I want to say that he was like 47, Dad's 70 something now. So it's probably close to 25, 30 years ago. So he gets the hair plugs. It looks ridiculous on him. I'm not listen, if you have hair plugs, I'm not trying to be offensive to you or to anyone who may have hair plugs, but he looks ridiculous. And it would itch him to death. Like the way he would describe it, I thought, why would anyone in their right mind do that to their scalp? And so he ended up having like one of his sisters, like literally take all of the plugs out with tweezers or something. Not kidding. It's disgusting. I would never do that. Or a toupee, because in knowing my luck, you get a toupee, you get fitted. Bill needs a Trump wig. Yes, I do. I would have way too much fun with that, man. But you've given me a great idea for a live stream. I gotta admit, you've given me a great idea. I gotta admit, I can't imagine having to have there's certain things you can control, right? You can control your weight. Not doing a great job of that right now. You can control that to an extent. I mean, I guess there are people that have some serious um, issues that maybe they can't. And so I don't want to be insensitive. I know I joke around a lot, but I don't want to be a jerk. But most people can, within limitations, can control their weight. But you can't control things like losing your hair. You can't control that. So like, why obsess over it? It's like you can't obsess, or eye color, or your height. You know, I guess people say, well, you're average height. I'm like, not really. I'm kind of short. And after the army, I'm shorter. Just go figure. Like I went at 5'9". I'm like 5'7" and praying now. I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8", but it's like, are you really? Are you sure? It's like I'm having to, stand up really straight. I think it's your belly fat just pulls you down. Say it would flip in the middle of. Todd, you're terrible. You're terrible. You're right. If I had like Trump here, it would flip in the middle of a sermon, and I might flip it on purpose. You know what I mean? Like one of those. That would be awesome. I was joking around one time, and I might have said this on a live stream because it was a few years ago, where I was being funny, maybe with a grandkid or something, and I was running Carolyn's comb over my head, and I hadn't felt a comb on my head in 30 years or whatever. I'm like, wow, I remember what this feels like. It's crazy. Make Erica great again. Exactly. Make Erica. I wish I could do a Trump impression. I really do. Trump's hilarious, dude. He's hilarious. I don't care. Anybody says, look, if you hate him, you hate him. Whatever. I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about just pure entertainment. I don't think we've ever had, except Ronald Reagan had a different type of thing going on, but he was entertaining too. Like, I know most of us were kids when Ronnie was around, but when Reagan was, if you go back and watch his stuff, he's hysterical and a great entertainer. And sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's a good thing. But I got to be careful because here's the thing. In the climate that we're in now, even a fun, lighthearted channel can go political, and then the comments are crazy. So I lost about an inch of height after my time in the military. Yeah, because you're jumping out of things like planes, helicopters, and trucks. Don't even want to go there with me on the truck. The deuce and half is you're not supposed to jump out of the back. We did. And you're not supposed to drive Humvees into the lake. And we did that too. Because they were supposed to float. They kind of do. But they kind of don't. And you're supposed to put the snorkel and all that on there. Nobody told us that. And I just got my license to drive a Humvee. And which was really me signing a piece of paper. I mean, I don't know how your experience was, Big Frog, but that was mine. You sign a piece of paper. You know how I learned to drive an APC? This was a 113. I learned how to drive that in a field. Actually, this is what happened. We're in Barberville. We're supposed to take the 577s and 113s, do some training, get license, all this stuff out at a training facility. You have to go through town and drive about, I think it's a total of 10 miles, but you had to drive through downtown Barberville, Kentucky. And this is what we unlocked it. You know how you do, because there's no keys where you just unlock the hatch. And they told me to get in there, and they use the cables to jump it, and because the batteries go dead and all that stuff. So start those bad boys up, and I'm waiting for somebody to get beside me and start coaching me up, like because I can't drive to the training area. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Go. And I'm like, no, I knew what. Listen. With zero training, you kind of know, it's one of those things, right? And pedals are pedals. I think it's pedals. Is that? Yeah. I can't remember. I'm blacking out now, but PTSD from the War of Barberville. But no, that's how we started. Like nobody said, hey, we need to do a training thing first. No, we just got in there and drove. And I remember, I think I've told Shane this story. I think we were somewhere right around the courthouse. And I started thinking, dear God, if they find out that they're letting me do this with zero training, and it dawned on me right then, I'm the kind of person, like, that's how this kind of works. I know it's not necessarily supposed to work that exact way, but it's just weird. It was just kind of a crazy moment. So yeah, but that was guard time, and it was a different environment. It wasn't quite as, because it was during the Clinton administration. It was before September 11th, before we were all mobbed 15 times and everything else. It was before all that. So things were a little loosey-goosey then. But if we're honest, during active duty, they were pretty loosey-goosey too, maybe even more so. Big Rock says, oh yeah, the same comment. So it's a different time period in the military. I look back at my military service with a lot of fondness, and I worry about our soldiers now because they're facing so many things that we didn't have to face. I can't imagine all the, like, how do you, again, I'm getting off here on a tangent, and I apologize, but Army stories now, but I'm sitting there thinking, like, I don't know how, because we had every unit I was with, regardless of where it was, because I was with a unit in Tennessee, I was with a unit in Kentucky, and like you had a specific mission that you were kind of always training for or whatever. It's like, how do you train now for all the different theaters of war that are taking place? I like, wow, it just seems like such a Herculean task out there, just the Wild West that's taking place. If you think about all of our threats right now, you got Russia and you got China. Is that Trumpish a little bit? But you have all these different threats, all around the globe. And all of them, that would require different training for everything. And then I found out, like, we only have so much ammo to last like 8 in a total war. I think our ammo would only last 7 or 8 days. I think I saw that on a YouTube video. The Nutcracker is in the Army. Did he get short? No, he is 6 foot tall. See, that's the whole thing. See, that's an illusion right there. And it stretch. No, he is 6 foot tall. He is almost as tall as a tree. Tree's 10 feet tall. Todd said, the things I got away with was fun in there. I know. It's things that you're like, I know that was illegal. I hope that was illegal. I mean, I'm glad I got by with it, but I hope it was illegal, because you wouldn't want anybody else doing it. And it's like, maybe it wasn't. Maybe that was okay. It's like, wow, that's interesting. I mean, there was a situation one time, better not tell that, where, Shane, this is the ammo it's one of those things that I would fact check, and I haven't, because I'm like, maybe I've been out twice as long as I was in. I was in 10 years, and so I've been out 20 now. So it's like, and I don't want to get depressed looking into it, but yeah, look it up. Like, it's like, that's in a total war, like, and the caissons go roll, total war. I think it's like 8 days, but who knows where like, that's one of those facts that, like, how skewed is that fact? Are we talking about total war, like total war? It's like everybody, like, pair them up, we're going at it all together, or does that count mobilization? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think Nutcracker. Oh, no, I already read that one again. So I guess I'm not sure if that, because you got me curious now. How factual is that? This guy, he had this video too, where his company, it's a tech company, and they're making like ammo and stuff. He's a young guy, like, he's a really young guy, and his company's like making missiles and stuff for the future. And he's like, my goal is to show up on day 9 with what we're building and something. I can't remember. So you guys need to have that ready for me tomorrow night, so we can get lively up in here. It'd be awesome. So yeah, I'm going to set that live stream up tomorrow night at 9:00. Now, I'm not saying that watching my Vlogmas videos when we get together like this as family, I'm not saying that you won't have a Merry Christmas if you decide not to watch tomorrow night. I think that would be wrong for me to be that manipulative. But what if it is true? What if you don't have a Merry Christmas because you didn't join our live stream tomorrow night at 9? You say, Bill, I'm working. You know what? You are overworked. You need to take a night off, and you need to be at the live stream. What's wrong with you opening your phone up at work? It will help your productivity. Take some headphones, you put them in. Say, my boss doesn't like that. You tell your boss, I said it's okay. Trust me, he knows me. It's fine. She knows me. Whatever. Look, Me now is already saying you will not, in fact, have a Merry Christmas. Do you see what he said? He knows. He knows. He's been there before with a situation. I'm not going to get into it, but we've talked. He said, look, you need to go ahead and come to the live stream tomorrow night, 9:00. And you need to bring people with you. Literally threaten them. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not telling you to threaten anybody. I'm just saying, like, sometimes, like, a little cyberbullying never hurt anybody, you know? A little cyber, you know, like, I'm just saying you should come in here, or no, don't do that. But you could share it. You could share it on Facebook, social media. You could go knock on your neighbor's door and go, you need to come to this live stream tomorrow night at 9:00, because we're going to talk about the physics of Santa Claus. We're going to go where no one has ever gone with this conversation before. Trust me, you don't know what I have in store here. We're going to talk about why it is necessary to have Santa Claus for the economy and why it's also killing us. We're going to talk about why China needs Santa and why we need to talk. Give peace a chance, give Santa a chance, and how we could build bridges between Russia and Ukraine with Santa Claus. I think that's, no, you can't. No, you can't, Shane. No, you can't. Cyber encourage. You know what? Big Frog is starting. Dude, you are a man after my own heart right now, because cyber encouraging is that's the word I'm looking for. You want to encourage people to be here. You want to say, look, you're going to lose that weight if you come on this channel at 9 p.m. tomorrow night and join the live stream. You're going to lose 10 pounds over the holidays. Like, instead of gaining weight, you're going to lose weight. And not only are you going to lose weight, you're going to grow hair, because we've already talked about that. I feel it right now. It's right there. It's happening. You're going to gain hair. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. It'll change your eye color. If you want brown eyes, you're going to get brown eyes. If you want blue eyes, look, I am a living proof of this. Bring back aggressive encouragement. Yes. Yes. Bring back aggressive encouragement. So you got to share this. You got to tell your neighbors, your friends, and family. When does Hanukkah start? Somebody needs to tell me, because we need to start burning candles up here. We need to start burning some candles, singing like whatever that song is. Ladle, 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 ladle. I'm something. I made it out of clay or something like that. Lose weight while watching Mr. Bill live stream while walking on that treadmill. You know, I don't even know that you have. Well, it's always good to walk on a treadmill. It's always good, but you can sit on it too. Like, really, you can sit on the treadmill, turn it off before you do that, or lay down, put the laptop, like, you know, just kind of. I think that would help. I'm just saying. Going to spin a dreidel. We're going to spin a dreidel tomorrow night. We're going to spin a dreidel. I'm going to wear the locks, and going to eat kosher tonight. No, it's not kosher tonight, because I'm having chicken wings when I get off here. It's a late. I haven't eaten today. Well, actually, I did. I had like a soft taco thing, but I haven't eaten. So I'm having like no carbs except the skin on the chicken wings. Like, that's carbs. That's probably not good for you. But I don't even know where I was going with that. I just got really hungry. But it's not kosher because, you know, it's deep fried in pig fat or whatever. But I will eat kosher tomorrow morning, maybe. Yeah. And that way we can celebrate Hanukkah, and because I'm all down with that, man. We'll burn candles, or we'll just burn something here in the office. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. But you've got to make a commitment to be here. Even if it's just us, just we very few. I will be here with bells on. Either way, I might even get a tattoo just for tomorrow night. And it's going to say Vlogmas 2025. And it'll have all 7 of your names on here. All 7 on my tattoo. It's going to have like Vlogmas 2025. And I'm going to have a tattoo of each of your names. I think that's worthy. I really do. So if you really want to make me eat my words, you want to get as many people here as possible so that I have one of those sleeves of tattoos all the way down to my wrist of just names of people who came here to be a part of Vlogmas 2025. Appreciate y'all. You guys are awesome. Become a member of the channel, and I'll make 5 member videos next year. 5. Does anybody, real quick, before you go, does anybody else watch the Y-Files? If you do, let me know, just real quick. Hilarious show. You got this guy named Hecklefish. He's on there. They do conspiracy videos, but it's really light. Like it's, it's nothing's like the conspiracy videos of 10 years ago. Those things were scary, man. There was some serious editing in them. Like talking about the dude in his basement. You know what I'm saying? His mom's basement, like editing videos. Like it was dark with strobes. There's some, the Y-Files. Yeah. I think, the Y-File. Great hecklefish. And it's hysterical. The little hecklefish thing. Guy's got a great gimmick. And he's funny. He's been on television. Like he's like a star. I want to go, you're cheating because you're like, he was already in the world, but then he pulled out of that Hollywood world or television world and was like out for a while and then went into YouTube and kind of just put his personality. He's got a great personality for it. Anyway, the point is like he knows how to do his membership stuff. And that's who inspired me to start a membership program, because I'm like, I want to do that. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that. But yeah, tomorrow night we'll get on here and we'll do this thing at 9:00. Now, Tuesday night, I have a video that's premiering at 9. I don't know how to handle that yet. So what I thought about doing, the video premieres at 9. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is late. I know we're old, or most of us are. So I'm concerned about having a live stream that late, but it would be kind of cool to like, I don't know. So I'm thinking about doing it anyway. And we could just be slap happy in here together. But the whole idea is to do a live stream every day until Christmas Eve. That's the whole thing. And I think that would be a lot of fun. So you guys have been great tonight. It's been a great party. And hopefully I will see you tomorrow night at 9. And until then, keep your feet on the ground and your ankles slightly above them. Good night. Blah.